Sam has played a very important fatherly role in my life. I treasure dearly the invaluable father-daughter talks that we've had, some of which have shaped the woman I am today. So Sam, after an illustrious career of 41 years in the Jewish community of Youngstown and almost 24 years of being your daughter, I can only say this. Mazel tov on your accomplishment. Thank you for all that you do and have done for me and our family. And I love you very much. Congratulations.
Today is Sam Kooperman's day. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sam's son, Brian, and I was asked to say a few words about my father, or what it's like to be Sam's son. Myra was very explicit. I don't know where Myra is right now, but very explicit. You run a tight ship, Myra. I sent in some videos, some of which were in that last video we just watched, and a lot of them I used as an opportunity to poke fun at my dad and bust his chops a little bit. So I'll try to take it easy on him here today. First, look at all these people that have come out here to honor you, Dad. I know it's like torture for you to do this right now for some reason. Just can't bear to see all the people that have loved you and just appreciate for what you've done. But seriously, you've been an anchor in the Youngstown area Jewish community for a long time. You just finished, or you're about to just finish, your 41st year with the Youngstown JCC and Federation. That is longer than I've been alive. My legal career started 10 years ago, and since that time, I've switched companies 4 times. My dad started his history here in Youngstown the old-fashioned way. He applied for a job after college and graduate school, working in his hometown in Sioux City, Iowa. One application was sent here to Youngstown and a few others to other cities around the country who had openings for a youth director position. If I recall correctly, I'm sure he'll correct me if I'm wrong, one of the other jobs he applied for was in a city in New Jersey, which actually offered more money. He accepted his position here in Youngstown and worked his way up the proverbial ladder over the years to come. When Dad arrived here in 1973, times were different. I'm a bit of a history nerd. I get that, unfortunately, from my dad. And I could not help but look back over the years and see what it was like in 1973, just to grasp how long he's been here and what he's been doing. In 1973, there were roughly 3.9 billion people in the world, which is just over 1/2 of the population today. It was the year of Roe versus Wade. It was the year that the US finally withdrew from Vietnam, the year in which, almost to the day, Egyptian and Syrian forces attacked Israel on Yom Kippur to begin the Yom Kippur War, and of course the year of Watergate. In 1973, both the Sears Tower in Chicago and the World Trade Center in New York were built, and they opened their doors, and The Godfather won the Academy Award for Best Picture. In 1973, all the steel mills were still here and operational in Youngstown, and the population here was roughly 140,000, well more than double what it is today. Being the sports fan I am, like my dad, I could not help but look back at the sports world in 1973. The Miami Dolphins completed the only undefeated season ever. O.J. Simpson rushed for 2,000 yards. Bill Walton and UCLA continued their dominance, winning another championship. And of course, the most important, George Steinbrenner bought the New York Yankees from CBS for $10 million. Times were different. In August of '73, my father started here as youth director and thereafter was promoted several times, as you've heard. I was 7 years old. My father and I lived on the north side of Youngstown on Coronado Avenue, moved to Liberty and Logan Arms Drive in 1988. I spent my early years wandering around the center, playing basketball, running in and out of the game room in the basement. I remember attending every possible event the JCC had to offer, no matter if it was preschool, day school, Akiva Academy, you name it. Looking back over Dad's career with the Federation really leaves a lasting impression. As I sat in my desk in my office at work and in my kitchen at home, trying to find the perfect historical quote to really emulate my father's career, I always circled back to the oldest and maybe most famous quote regarding the subject of work. While maybe being a bit of a cliche, I'm pointed to the quote and advice given by the Chinese philosopher Confucius, who said, "Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life." I honestly cannot think of anyone that I know in my life who really loved his job more than you. Dad, here are several lessons you've taught me through the years, simply by the way you've gone about your job, day after day, my whole life. You taught me to work hard. Many people work, few work hard. You taught me the value of working hard. Thank you. I know there are many who do not have this type of example, and I really, really appreciate it because it shaped who I am today. You taught me to work hard for others. So if you work hard, then even fewer work hard for others for purposes of helping other people, as I've watched you raise money over the years for other people, including helping multiple families move from places where Jews were not welcome and setting them up here in Youngstown and giving them opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have. I learned at a young age the value of giving back and helping other people. You taught me the value of family. Number 3, even though you worked hard as a single parent early on in my life, you never made me feel like you were too busy. There was never a time I can remember where you were not by my side to pick me up when I fell down or bail me out when I got in trouble, literally. You took me with you on every possible trip growing up whenever your career required, whether it was to Seattle or San Diego or even Israel. You brought me along. If it required, you helped me with my homework or challenged me to our own trivia games at Jeopardy. You took me to see great sporting events around the country, including Super Bowl 23 when Joe Montana hit John Taylor in the back of the end zone for my beloved 49ers. You were present at my basketball games in high school, in every possible significant event in my life, and now in each of my daughters' lives. Still to this day, I know if there is a party or something going on for Sophia or Mara, you'll be there in 3 hours no matter what if I pick up the phone. Finally, the last thing is you taught me not to settle and love what you do for a living. Growing up through the halls of 505 Gypsy Lane, I realized that it was almost like your second home. When you're so passionate about what you do, it's not like you're working at all, like Confucius said. Dad, I want to say how much I admire your dedication to this community and the various Jewish causes you have given your life to. It's impossible to measure what you have meant to this community. All these years, your work did not start at 8 or 9 a.m. when you walked in the office. You lived it for 24 hours a day. It is your time, Dad. You'll now have time to kick back, pursue new dreams, enjoy your time with Kathy and your grandkids. In fact, we're off to Disney World in a couple weeks to chase Anna and Elsa around the Magic Kingdom in Orlando. Hopefully, your retirement will bring with it vacations, golf, family time, activities, maybe volunteering. And as much as you will have the opportunity to no longer work, I doubt you'll stop working. So, although you retire today, I believe the work will continue. Please continue to learn and challenge yourself because your passion and enjoyment for what you do has benefited so many people, and there's no reason you cannot continue to teach other people what you have learned and accomplished over your career. I'm so happy I could be here to say a few words today. Corey, Sophia, Mara, and I love you very much. Mazel tov.
Not only are you my role model, you are my fashion model. And Bill and I did this independently. I went and I did not know Bill was wearing heels. And I kind of like them now. I also tried to, I wanted to buy a leisure suit today because, again, those of you who know Sam know the whole leisure suit. I couldn't find one. I asked the lady, leisure suits. She said, we haven't made those since 1995. So, Sam. A couple things. I bring a unique perspective here tonight. I was a president under Sam's, president of the Federation with Sam, but he is also my brother-in-law, and I have known him since 1973 when he came to town. And I won't speak long, but one thing I do want to just step aside for a second. Lipkin came to us Bruce Sherman and I, a few months ago and said, you know, we have to do something for Sam, and nothing big, don't worry about it, you know. So Bruce and I sat down and said, well, how about we can just do like, you know, an open house at the JCC one night after work, and people can come by and say hello and goodbye. And I said, hey, you know, it sounds good to us. Okay. And I said, we said, you know, we should maybe talk to Myra first, because Myra really knows, you know, she'll tell us how to do it right. In the first meeting, within 2 minutes, Bruce and I had lost control. It was over, and thank God we had you do this, Myra and Linda and others, because as my wife explained to me this morning as we were coming here to help set up, men can't do this. So, Myra, thank you very much. It really is beautiful. Thank you. I'm trying not to repeat what everybody has said and what was on the video. And as you know, Sam was married to my sister Susie. And I first met him at our house when he came to the holidays one year or something. I forget what it was. I was just either
1973, Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah. I was okay. See, he knows. I was a freshman. I had come home from Ohio University, and I look and it's like, what did she drag home this time? All right? You've seen the pictures, and here's this funny-looking little guy with the Jew fro going, and the mustache. You've had the mustache since then, but so okay. I was unsure of him, and again, they were dating, and he was around the house, and I was at school, and we would cross paths frequently. And then I think maybe the next year or something like that, I came home for the holidays, and again, you're a kid, you're home from college, you want to go out. So I borrowed my dad's car, and I told my parents I was going someplace. Well, I didn't go that someplace. I went to another place, and unfortunately, I got in an accident. So, oh man, now what? So, I had to call I think it was. So I had to call, you know, and my dad and my mom had to come pick me up. And when my parents came, Susie and Sam were with them. And again, my lie was exposed, but thank God Sam and Susie were there, and he helped, save me from my parents' wrath that night. So I said, you know, this Sam's a pretty cool guy. So
He helped the paraplegic.
yeah, it was pretty sad. Anyways, while I was in college, I worked for Sam in various jobs at the JCC, and then after I graduated from college, Lori and I had met, and we came back to Youngstown to start our lives together, and I think I said this on the video, but one night at dinner, Sam invited me to a Federation function. I don't want to go to that. It's not my thing. He said, yes, you're coming. Well, Sam, I don't want to go. He said, too bad. You're coming. You have to go. It's your obligation as a Jew. I said, wow. And that's how he did it. And that's how he got people involved. And not just me, but that's how he developed leaders. And I imagine that many of you here tonight had the same experience, that you became part of the Federation because of Sam's bringing you into the fold and getting you involved. And it was that ability that Sam had that he was able to move our Federation into the positive organization that it is today. But I do have some other random thoughts. Again, some of them have been on the video, but so what? Sam is truly the worst driver in the world, okay? I cannot emphasize it enough. And he denies it, but any of you who have driven with him know that this is true. In fact, when our kids were little, we would not allow them to drive with Sam. If Sam was driving somewhere, wouldn't send the kids. One time, I was driving down Belmont Avenue, and we were like in front of Plaza Donuts, and he stopped. Now, anybody who's from Youngstown knows there is no stoplight in front of Plaza Donuts. And he literally stopped in front of Plaza Donuts. What's the deal? Okay, so he drives on. One time, this is classic. One time we were driving somewhere, and Lori and I saw him. He was parked on the side of the road, and he had a kidney stone, and he had parked the car, and he was throwing up on the side of the road from the kidney stone. It was a classic moment. Thank God you're better, but you know. Sam's driving has kind of moved over into his golf world, and I too golfed with Sam Kooperman. In fact, Booker and me and Coop and my father-in-law Alan Goldstone, we used to go golfing every Sunday morning, and it was. Others have said it, but you really have to experience it to believe it. And there is a rumor, I don't know that this happened, but it's probably true, that he tipped a golf cart one time while golfing, and I'm pretty sure it's true. I know I've talked to Gary and Jerry Peskin. They've kind of assured me it happened. And there were many times that you got the cart stuck in the mud and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Peskin didn't. No, I don't think so. Okay, moving on. For years, the Merkin family sat back in that corner during the holidays, and when we allowed Sam to join us and become part of the family, anybody who has sat next to Sam in any sort of event knows that he can't shut up. And continually, I can't tell you how many times Rabbi Myers would stop the service and yell at the Merkins back in that corner, and it was all Sam Kooperman. Moving on, Sam has the worst singing voice you have ever heard. Okay. In fact, the other night we were here for Kol Nidra, and Sam was pouring his heart out, and it was awful. And when we were younger, Sam used to sing this song, Wagon Wheels. Would you? Enough said. Again, I talked about warm-up suits and the whole suspender thing, but also, Sam, you might not know, Sam is probably one of the best cooks in the world, and his chopped liver is the best in the world, and his gribbiness and his farfel are memorable and the best you will ever taste. And again, I don't want to repeat anything that has been said so far. All kidding aside, Sam, you've been a great brother-in-law. You've been a good friend. You've been a friend of the Federation, and we are truly thankful and grateful for all you have done. Thank you so much. You come up here. We were thinking real hard, what do you get the man who has everything besides a wardrobe? And we didn't know what to get you, so we have got this. It is a coupon, a travel voucher that will allow you to go anywhere you want to go. I believe it's $10,000 that you can use to travel and go. You love Israel. We want you to go back and come back. You don't have to stay there. But this is here for you when you're ready to use it. You're welcome.
Kenny's always the guy who tells me, don't make a long speech. It's got to be really short, because I don't like long speeches. And he's absolutely right, because who wants to hear long speeches? So I came here tonight saying, thank you very much for everything. Goodbye. I came here And I thought about this like Abraham. I came here as a stranger in a strange land on August 8th of 1973. And this community is a very welcoming community. It's a community that says, "Hi, how are you? Let us be part of you." And that was the case in 1973. I'll never forget when I went, and I came here as the youth director, and I went to I don't know what the hell the name of the place is, but where the Cavs used to play in the Coliseum. And there was a circus there. And I walked in the circus, and 30 kids in the background said, "Hi, Sam." Then I taught Sunday school here. I had Wendy Grinstein Person, as one of my kids. What a pain she was. But I decided that I couldn't be the youth director and still work at the JCC